Hey y'all, Bunkle here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope every day is a blessed day for you. I believe every day definitely has its ups and downs, and we need to take a look sometimes at the negatives that happen and really consider that it might not be as negative as it seems at the moment. Somewhere down the road, they always say hindsight is 2020. Something that we thought was a negative at one particular point ends up being not all that bad and ends up leading towards something good. So just something to keep in mind. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be opening up a bunch. Got 12 packs here of 1991 Fleer baseball cards. Now, some would say that this is the junk wax of the junk wax. So many of these were overproduced, mass-produced, incredible numbers. Some people say, and kind of jokingly, that until the end of time, there's still going to be packs left of these. Who knows when the end of time is and all that? We won't get into that here, but there's enough cards, packs, and everything that was produced of these that they'll be around much longer than you or I, that's for sure. Anyway, that does not necessarily mean that there are not some cards that may have some value. First of all, collective value and all that. I tend to look for Hall of Famers, Ricky Henderson or Reggie's or anything like that, or Griffey's. But if you're into the PSA and the grading game, why not? Hobby is not exactly the cheapest hobby in the world to maintain. Definitely costs involved, and grading can be a cost. But if you are into the PSA game, there's a few cards that are worth getting graded, in my opinion, especially if you can get that 10. Now, there's no guarantee that you'll get a 10. You might think everything is perfectly centered and sharp as corners. You could cut a blade with the edge, and you can cut a blade, yeah. You can slice a piece of paper with the edge. It's so sharp. Might not be the case, though. PSA or whatever other grading company might decide differently, but if you do, the Darryl Strawberry is actually the highest valued one in this, and I think that's pretty cool to see. There's also the Bonds and Griffey Jr. card. Definitely a highlight of the set. There's a Griffey error card where it says he bats around 300 instead of batting 300. A couple others, McGuire, Mattingly, Walker. Again, if you have a chance at a 10, it might be worth it. Beyond that, there's really not that much. Gwynn, Ripken, maybe. Nolan Ryan, maybe. But beyond that, really not that much. If you're paying standard PSA fees, $30 for grading, you start to get to the point of diminished returns. Anyway, I got my frappers ready, just in case I do pull anything really good out of these. And got the Wall of Fame all set up for y'all. It is completely empty. We're starting off with the White Sox sticker here. Now, there is going to be some wax damage to some of these cards. Sorry about the little break there, y'all. Had a honeydew second. So as I was saying, the wax stains, as far as these are, it's usually a good thing. They put the sticker on the back of most of these packs, so that's what got the wax damage as opposed to any of the cards. Kind of smart, that I would say. Now, the color on these, either you love or you hate. I don't know too many people that really like the color scheme. This bright neon yellow definitely leaves a lot to be desired. The photography is not bad. Fleer, of course, is catching up with their game. They did do Fleer Ultra same year, which were higher quality, higher standard. They were kicking it into high gear to keep up with Upper Deck. Anyway, we are starting off with John Shelby, Ozzie Guillen, Pat Combs, Eric Yelding, Calvin Schiraldi, Mel Hall. There he was with the Yankees. Alan Anderson, Greg Vaughn, Dave Island, another Yankee. Scott Scudder, Mike Henneman, Oil Can Boyd. He's always an interesting character. Harold Reynolds, and Willie Randolph, now with the A's, moved on from the Yankees. He was part of the Dynasty Yankees. Get to pack number 2. And as mentioned, the sticker tends to be where the wax is, so that's a really good thing. We got the Blue Jays up as the second one. And let's see what cards are there. So far, the Wall of Fame is empty. Starting off with Chuck McElroy, Gino Petralli, John Tudor. It was a real good pitcher with the Cardinals. That's what the backs look like. Now, he was a good pitcher with the Cardinals. He was a good pitcher overall, I'd say. Traveled around a whole lot. Got Tom Candiati, Jeff Schultz, Frank Thomas. That's our first Wall of Famer. Nice card there. Mike Greenwell, Rick Sutcliffe, Bobby O, Bob Ojeda, Jeff King, Terry Pendleton, Tony Fernandez. I mean, he made way for Jeter. Tim Cruz, and Mike Pagliarillo. I know some people don't like that nickname he had as far as Pags, but it was what it was. So let's get that first one frappered up. Frank Thomas definitely goes up on the Wall of Fame there. Moving on to pack number 3 now. Starting off with the Texas Rangers sticker. That'll go over in the sticker pile. Got Dave Island again. Looks like he's posing for the typical Little League picture there. Scott Scudder, Mike Henneman, Oil Can Boyd looks like a repeat pack. Harold Reynolds, Willie Randolph, yep. Scott Ruskin, up to there. Juan Bell, Randy Bush, Bob Patterson, Stan Javier, Crime Dog, nice card to find there. Omar Vizquel, and Andre Dawson. All right, got the Rock. Nice card there. Now that looks like it's a slant cut. If you look at the way the black lines are there and the border, it just looks kind of like the older Fleer diamond cut. Maybe it's just my eyes or how I'm seeing things at this hour. It is a bit late in the evening when I'm filming this, after a day of work. And the eyes get a little bit blurry. I do data. I mentioned that on a couple other videos. I do data. I do IT as my full-time thing. And a bunch of different things as side hustle. And cards, I would say, side hustle as far as and recreation, especially the vintage stuff. Just brings me back to the old days. Not bad traveling back to them, that's for sure. Great sticker here with the A's, the Mariners, the Mets, and the Phillies. Starting off with Randy Reddy. He looks like he's ready for some fielding there. Mike Sims, Paul Ferries. We would have definitely made fun of that name back in the day. Pascual Perez, Kirby Puckett. Nice card there. And followed up by Carlton Fisk. Got 2 Hall of Famers back-to-back there. Greg Litton, Darrell Hamilton. Mark Langston, Kevin Seitzer. He was supposed to be a great player. He didn't exactly totally live up to all of the expectations that we're all pumped with him. Larry Sheets, Sam Horn. It's another one. It's after he moved on from the Red Sox. Lance Parrish, and Bob Welch. Another great pitcher. Not exactly Hall of Fame, but he chewed up innings. He was definitely a tough pitcher. He's one of those pitchers that if your team was facing him, you knew it was going to be a tough game. Carlton Fisk there with the White Sox. Second part of his career after the Red Sox, of course. Moving on to the next pack. And I'm seeing the Montreal Expos defunct team. A lot of great players came up through the Expos. People don't realize how many real good players came up through them. Pedro, of course, Randy Johnson, just to name a couple. They had some great players during their day and just never made it. They somehow, or now maybe I just don't totally understand the finances of baseball, but They were never really able to hold on to players. Now, it could have been because of taxation in Canada. It could have been because they just didn't have the salary. Who knows exactly? I don't know enough about all of that to really say. Got Mickey Tettleton. Checklist card. Yay, checklists. Greg Smith. Now that's one of the keeper cards of this set. That's the Griffey Bonds. That's a sweet card. Sharp on this one. Centering looks real nice also. I don't know. Y'all can comment. Let me know what you think. But this one absolutely looks great. Maybe slightly off top to bottom. I'd have to confirm that. But that's definitely a keeper card. I'm going to frapper that one up right away. Great card there. Got Alvaro Espinosa, Frank White, Felix Furman, Steve Buscemi, as opposed to Steve Buscemi. Another checklist. Sandberg and Fielder. Great card there. Home Run Kings. Very nice card there. I will frapper that up in a second. Bruce Ruffin, Jamie Moyer, Tony Castillo, and Sergio Valdez. I don't know why I read Marcio. I think my eyes are getting a little bit bugged at this hour. All right. Let's hit the next pack. Pretty good Wall of Fame lining up so far. All right, next one, we got the Phillies sticker leading us off. Got Mike Perez, Joey Cora, Anthony Telford, Sandy Alomar Jr. Great card there. Bobby Rose, Walt Weiss, Jeff Treadway, Tim Tuffle, Wes Gardner, Joe Ursulak, Jeff Brantley, Jim Gantner, Chuck Finley, and Mark Davis. So not all that much to write home about in that. Got the Alomar Jr., which is a great card to get. Always great to get Hall of Famers. I'm just looking at that picture of Griffey and Bonds. Both of them looking so young. I mean, Griffey was always just a kid. I mean, he really embodied the love of the game at that time. Barry, I think, did also, up to a certain point. I'm not going to get into the other stuff he got into, but once again, the owners knew, the managers knew, the coaches knew, the league knew, and they pushed it. So, I don't know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You don't know really who's completely at fault there. Rangers, Blue Jays, Orioles, and Red Sox. I'm going to behave and not say Red Sox there. Got Phil Clark, Mark Gardner. All right, we got a Griffey. Nice Griffey card there. A little bit small for my eyes. Okay, so this is the corrected one, and bat 300. So this is not the error where it says bat around 300, but it says bat 300. So I'll definitely keep that one there. Got a Canseco, Dale Mahorsic, David Segui, Al Newman, Bill Landrum, Eddie Murray. Great card to find there. Another Frapper card. Greg Myers, Mike Jackson, Mike Lacoste, Danny Jackson, and Darrell Eckerfields. Phillies pitcher there. All right, we'll get the Murray frappered up. Keep him next to Kirby Puckett. And the Griffey Jr. Great card to find there, too. Now, again, thinking about grading, unfortunately, even in a PSA 10, the value on this one is only about $35. $35, $40 in a PSA 10. So you really have to consider, if you send it in to get it graded, knowing that you have a chance that it might not be a 10. Now, this one looks really sharp, and even if it was a 10, okay, great. So you pay $30 if you're paying typical PSA fees. You pay 30 bucks for grading. It comes back a 10. You get 35 for it. So you went through the time and the effort and all of that. And of course, the chance that it wasn't a 10. Part of the risk is that risk reward. That with everything, you really have to take a look at. All right. Next one here. We got Twins, Yankees, A's, and Mariners. Starting off with Bob Boone, Ken Patterson. Mr. Wade Boggs there, still with the Red Sox. Before he made his way over to my Yanks. I'm sure that made a lot of Red Sox fans choke. Dave Clark, Pedro Guerrero, seeing him ride on a horse around the stadium was pretty cool. Mike Jeffcoat, Jose Vizcaíno, Willie Frazier, Dave Martinez, Jeff Hewson, Greg Olson, Julio Valera, Ron Hasse, and Carmelo Martinez. So let's get that Boggs up on the Wall of Fame also. Now again, I'll say I'm putting cards up on the Wall of Fame because they are Wall of Fame worthy. And I don't mean any offense by covering one up to put another one there. When I get a bunch of good ones, they all go up there. That's how it is. Again, if I'm looking at PSA value, there'd be no reason to have half of these up there. But player value, who they are, how they played the game, that's a lot more relevant in my mind. Got the Rangers sticker there. Scott Ruskin, Juan Bell, Randy Bush, Bob Patterson, Stan Javier, Crime Dog again, Omar Vizquel again. Looks like a semi-repeat pack. I mean, you'd find that during the junk wax era. You might still now also, where you find the same sequencing of cards. Scott Geraltz, Rob Dibble, part of the Nasty Boys, Sil Campusano, Mark Davidson, Mike Lavalier, Jose De Leon, and Glenn Allen Hill. So not much to write home there. Last 3 packs here. That was kind of partially slightly open there. And after all these years, wax, and you have no idea how they're treated over the years, not surprising that some of them might be partially opened. You see everything. Got John Burkett, Tim McIntosh, Brian McRae, George Brett. Nice card there. Nice action shot. Awesome hitter. I mean, one of the things I remember best about George Brett, and I'm sure my kid brother remembers it, was the Pine Tar game. I mean, we were there. That was my brother's first game that he went to. Getting to, back then things were a little bit different now than they are now. Hanging out by the players' gate, by the Yankees gate, the entrance, as well as the visitors' team gate. Players gave autographs, no issue back then. They'd stop and talk with the fans. Not only the home team, but the visitors would also. And same thing used to happen in Shea Stadium. That I could definitely talk about. But got a Brett autograph before the game, and I know that's on my brother's wall somewhere. So very cool. Just great memories there. Got Alan Trammell, another Hall of Famer, great player there. Scott Radinsky, Darryl Dalton, Biggio, great card to find there. That's not his rookie, of course. He's a couple of years into his career, but nice early card of his. Sean Abner, Chuck Carey, Rick Aguilera, Chuck Krim, Matt Noakes. Now, he was supposed to be a great catcher when he was coming up with the Tigers. Just bounced around a whole lot after that. Yep, I got that right. I remember that one right. But he was supposed to be a great catcher, and I guess his greatness was mediocrity. Sure, he caught the ball. It's about the best you could say. He was all right behind the plate, an all right hitter. Not exactly the best of his generation, that's for sure. All right, next one here. All right. And the wax sticker is the Braves, Cubs, Royals, and Brewers. Dickie Thon, one of the players I love making fun of his name. Always will have, definitely did when I was younger. Jim DeShays, Mark Parent, Jesse Barfield, made his way to the Yankees also. Dan Gladden, Paul Molitor, great card there. Rick Parker, Robin Yount. That's a great one to find also. Rockin' Robin definitely goes up. Lee Stevens, Kurt Stillwell, Cecil Fielder, Dan Pasqua, Chili Dog Davis, and Doug Jennings. Wall of Fame is definitely lining up really nicely there. Star of it so far is definitely the Griffey Jr. and the Barry Bonds combo. All right, and we got our last pack here, going with the Milwaukee Brewers as our sticker. Tony Fernandez, Tim Cruz, Pags again, Bobby Ojeda, Mike Jackson, Bill Long, Mike Lacoste, Danny Jackson, Darrell Akerfeld, Xavier Hernandez, Dale Mahorsic, David Segui, Al Newman, and Bill Landrum. So that wraps up that pack opening. From the Wall of Fame, I would definitely put that one front and center. It's a great card to find. That one in the Griffey Jr., absolutely. Now, as I've mentioned in a couple other videos, I will be putting together a couple giveaways in short time. One of them is going to be a clue-based giveaway. Another one's going to be just a general giveaway based on email. And I am going to announce a clue in this video. Being that I'm looking at that Griffey card there, and there's the error card that has around on it. The clue word is going to be around. So keep that in mind. You might want to jot it down or just remember it or recall it. This way, when I do put together the clue-based giveaway, you can gather all the clues, and however we work it out, however I put it together, and whatever the winning cards are going to be, cards and or whatever else, I'm not exactly sure yet. But I will have something put together very shortly. Anyway, had a great time popping these. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely appreciate all comments, subscribers, thumbs up, all of that great stuff. Hope y'all take care. Stay well. Stay blessed. Bunkle out.